She thought her marriage was secure. She believed he would always stay, no matter how she treated him. But she was wrong, because love doesn't break all at once. It breaks quietly when one person feels they are not seen, heard, or valued. Rhoda was not a bad woman. She was confident, intelligent, independent. She believed marriage was a contract, an agreement between two adults to coexist, not a promise built on emotions. To her, love was exaggerated, something people talked about when they needed comfort. A beautiful idea, but unreliable. She believed respect was mutual, not owed, that men and women were equal in every sense, and no one deserved special treatment simply because of gender. She was wealthy, well-educated, established, and she carried herself with the quiet authority of someone who had never needed to depend on anyone. Most of these beliefs she kept to herself. When he met her, he didn't see all of that. He saw her beauty, her strength, her confidence, and he admired it. His name was Daniel. Daniel wasn't as wealthy as Rhoda. He wasn't as highly placed in society, but he was hardworking, the kind of man who built his life with persistence, not privilege. More than anything, Daniel believed in love. He believed in companionship, in partnership, in choosing one person and standing by them, even when it was hard. Marriage to him wasn't a contract. It was a commitment, a place of warmth, affection, respect. He believed a home should feel safe. Rhoda didn't know how deeply Daniel believed in these things, and Daniel didn't fully understand Rhoda's beliefs either. When he sat beside her, hoping for closeness, she shifted slightly. Daniel, must you always want attention? To her, affection was unnecessary. To him, it was reassurance. Daniel believed love needed care, but Rhoda didn't. When Daniel suggested something, "Maybe we can talk about this differently," she cut him off. "No, that's not how it works. I've already thought it through." She was always right, or at least she believed she was. Daniel's opinions were heard, then dismissed. Not angrily, just firmly. He tried in small ways. He washed the dishes without being asked, fixed things around the house, picked up groceries on his way home. She noticed, but never acknowledged it. No thank you, no I appreciate you, just that's what you're supposed to do. To Rhoda, effort was duty. To Daniel, effort was love. Rhoda only cooked when she wanted to, not because she had to, not because it mattered to him. Meals became optional, care became conditional. Daniel stopped expecting warmth at the table, the same way he had stopped expecting it in conversation. Romance became another quiet battlefield. Daniel would reach for her hand. She pulled away. "You think about romance too much," she said. "Life is more than all this emotional stuff." He planned evenings together. She was often not available, so sometimes he had to cancel. "I'm tired. Another time, please." That was all he heard. Another time rarely came. To her, life was tough, and treating it with tenderness felt like weakness. Love, in her eyes, was one of those unnecessary complications. And Daniel carried it all in silence, watching his dream of a loving marriage slip away quietly before his very eyes. A place where he thought he would find comfort and companionship became the loneliest place in his life. After more than a year of swallowing his pain, of choosing patience over fighting, Daniel reached a breaking point. One evening, not in anger, not in rage, but in exhaustion, he finally spoke. "Rhoda, we need to talk." She sighed. "What is it now?" He sat across from her, his voice calm but heavy. "Why can't we talk anymore? Why can't we laugh or share our hearts? Why does everything feel like a transaction? Where's the respect? Where's the love?" She looked at him unmoved. "Daniel, you think too much," she said. "Life is hard. Love won't pay bills. Emotions don't build the future. You're too soft." Then she added casually, "But we're fine. I don't see any problem. I support you financially when needed. I've never failed you in that area." Daniel's voice cracked, not loud, but firm. "Stop it, Rhoda," he said quietly. "This is not about money. This is not about support. This is about how I feel in my own home." She didn't respond, and in that silence, Daniel understood something painful. Soon enough, the biggest fear of every woman began to quietly take shape. Daniel could have sworn that stepping outside his marriage was something he would never do. Not him. Not ever. Over time, the moments added up. She brought him coffee without being asked. She always listened when he spoke. She warmly welcomed his ideas. "You are such a diligent and hardworking man," she whispered to him one day. When he held the door for her, "Thanks, Dan," she said, smiling. Rhoda never gave him compliments. It wasn't her thing. For the first time in months, Daniel laughed and didn't feel guilty. With Laura, his pains and sorrows melted away as though they didn't exist. Around her, he felt safe, free, like the world rested gently in his hands. First, it was just friendship, then care, then comfort. Soon, she became impossible to ignore. She was everything Rhoda wasn't. Then slowly, dangerously, he started feeling something he had not felt for a long time in his marriage. That thing was love. At night, lying beside his wife, he often pondered, did I miss the signs? Was it my fault? Did I marry the wrong person? He hated himself for thinking it, yet the contrast refused to leave his mind. And for the first time since his wedding day, Daniel realized something painful. He had fallen in love with another woman, not because he wanted to, but because the life he was living had slowly pushed him away. For the first time, Daniel knew what happiness truly felt like, and he wasn't sure how much longer he could continue to pretend he wasn't. He was standing at the edge of a choice he never imagined he would have to make. So, the question remained, was Daniel truly ready to walk away from his marriage for another woman? Or was Rhoda about to lose the man she believed would always stay with her, come rain or shine? Christmas came quietly. The house was calm, too calm. On Boxing Day morning, Rhoda decided to sort through the gifts they had exchanged the day before. Then she frowned. And then her breath stopped. The letter read, "Laura, I don't know how to explain what you've done to my life without sounding emotional. You came into my life at a time when I had forgotten what comfort and companionship felt like. With you, I feel safe. I feel heard. I feel seen and valued. You listen when I talk. With you, there are no arguments to win, no points to prove. You don't make me feel small for having feelings. For the first time in a long while, I wake up looking forward to the day, not because I will see my wife, but because I will see you. I can laugh again and breathe again. At home, everything feels heavy. Love was a distant wish. Respect was something out of reach. I stopped feeling wanted a long time ago. You've reminded me that a home can actually feel warm, that two people can create a special world where love, happiness, and respect live. I never planned for this, but you've changed me. You've made me believe in life and love again. And if you give me the chance, Laura, I want to spend the rest of my life with you beside me." Rhoda dropped the letter. Her hands shook. She read it again and again and again. Every line felt like a verdict. Every word reflected a truth she had ignored. By the seventh time, tears blurred the page. She finally understood. She hadn't been replaced. She had pushed him away. That same evening, she confronted him. Daniel looked up as she walked into the room, the letter trembling in her hand. "What is this, Daniel?" she asked, her voice breaking. "Is this what it has come to?" He froze. She sank into a chair. "I gave you everything," she whispered. "My heart, my soul, everything I knew how to give. I wanted love, but maybe I never knew how to show it." She looked up at him, her eyes swollen. "Daniel, are you telling me you were ready to leave me?" He was silent, long enough to answer the question without words. Then he spoke. "I'm so sorry, Rhoda," he said quietly. "But yes, I was going to walk away. I've seen enough. I couldn't keep living the way we were." That was the moment Rhoda broke completely. She said nothing else that night. She read the letter again before sleeping, and again and again. By morning, something in her had shifted. When Daniel came into the kitchen, the smell of breakfast filled the air. Rhoda stood by the stove. She turned to him slowly. "I'm sorry," she said. "I wasn't ready to lose you to understand what I had. You're a good man, Daniel, and I wasn't a good wife." Tears streamed down her face. "I'll change," she pleaded. "I'll be the woman you need. Please, don't leave me." Daniel said nothing. Do you think Daniel will stay? Or is it already too late for Rhoda to save her marriage? Or was Daniel even right to love another woman?